You know, when you look at all this talk about digital ID, a few years back I talked about the driver's license. And I mentioned the social security card, the birth certificate, how we already been pretty much marked from day one at birth, and what these numbers really represent when you start talking about your social security number and the numbers on your birth certificate. And let me give a shout out to Queen. Asked me about doing this video about King Charles III, making that announcement, that speech about in the UK, the United Kingdom. First of all, we know that there are things over here in the US you cannot do over there in the UK, no way. Give you an example. If you talk about a knife, you tote a knife, depending on the size of it, they look at that knife like it's a gun, and you can get in trouble. There's things over there that's legal, but over here to be illegal. And there's things over here that's legal, and over there to be illegal. And they look at some of these things like what we have really a weapon, really a big problem. But the biggest thing I will see with digital ID is you're going to have probably more and more data breaches. We already know that. And then look at how many hackers you got out here. You already got an issue with security. You already got a huge problem with identity theft. So what are you talking about, the digital versus the physical? Oh, of course there's going to be some issues. But this is what King Charles was talking about again. Now notice his name is King Charles. This is the son of Queen Elizabeth, the oldest son. And he's the king of the United Kingdom. While back, you saw him with a throne. Y'all know what I'm talking about. See, this is why they kept trying to get most of us to get smartphones. And I, to this day, don't own a smartphone and don't want one. Because, see, when you look at a smartphone and you start talking about stuff like this, here's a better question. What's going to happen if something happens to your smartphone? And you got all this digital ID and you can't get it, you can't log on. And see, it's going to be some things that's going to crash. Think about that. Even at Sam's now, you can go in Sam's with your phone and scan your barcode. Most stuff now, it's all digital anyway. We live in a digital society now. I told y'all a while back we was coming down to a cashless society. Now, a lot of people think that this digital ID is going to have something with the mark of the beast. Think about that. But this is what King Charles was talking about. And if you look around, you think about this digital ID stuff, okay? It could cause a big issue. It can. And already is. And that's why my heart hurts for the older generation. They don't know what to make of this stuff, trying to keep up with stuff. And it like this older lady told me yesterday, it's not fair. The things we got to sit here and deal with and try to keep up with. I said, I know, ma'am, but this is what we're living in. And this is what the Bible warned us that these days was coming. So y'all, we just have to live by faith. Walk by faith and not by sight. Shalom. You know, when you look at all this